Oh, hi there, I'm Dan Amrich, the community manager for Activision. I go by the name One of Swords, and you're watching One of Swords TV Late Night Edition, because I am recording this after the second day of E3. After being on the show floor all day, I came back to the office, recorded our weekly podcast, and decided while the podcast is exporting, now's the perfect time to do this so that I don't forget. It's a very busy week in the gaming industry, as you can probably imagine, and it's busy for me too, even though, I'm just a community manager. So what happens here is that you send me questions at YouTube at oneofswords.com, and I try to answer them. And I got a really good one this week. And again, I'm ordering these more or less in the order that I get them. But Ian Grimes wrote in and said, "Hey Dan, I recently purchased Band Hero at a second-hand store and noticed there was a phone jack on the guitar. Why is that?" Well, it's a really good question. Now, I didn't realize there was a phone jack, and I'm looking around in the Band Hero guitar, which is the same as the Guitar Hero 5 guitar, by the way. But I do remember that on the original Guitar Hero 2 controller on Xbox 360, there was a phone jack at the bottom. But now, I guess there was. And I asked Red Octane about that, because obviously, Red Octane built the original Guitar Hero 2 White Explorer for the Xbox 360. And that was the first game that Activision... No, I guess Activision didn't publish Guitar Hero 2. Activision published Guitar Hero 3. They bought it right after Guitar Hero 2. Maybe they did X, but you know what? I'm really tired. You can probably tell from the bags under my eyes. When I asked Red Octane, I'm like, why is there a phone jack on here? And they just said, future expansions. From what I'm able to glean, those were there in case they ever decided, for Red Octane anyway, it was there in case they ever decided to add an effects pedal with a cord that would go from the guitar down to your foot. They never actually wound up doing that, although there were some effects pedals for like Rock Band and stuff like that. They never actually did the telephone modular jack. Now, any other jacks that you might find on there that don't seem like they belong there, or that may not actually be phone jacks, but maybe, data jacks with that little plastic Molex connector, it's sort of the same answer. Generally, they put that stuff in there for future modifications. If they wanted to upgrade the firmware in the controller, they could do that through that port. If they wanted to make an accessory that would be like a foot pedal, an effects pedal, that you could stomp on and it would do something, that's how they would do that. It's always better when you're designing something as universal as a plastic controller that you want millions of people to use, in a best case scenario, right? That you want to build in some aspect of future compatibility and future expansion. So if you have a really cool idea, you go, oh, what if we made this thing that could, bolt in, and you don't have to make people buy a whole new controller. And especially if it's optional, then it's like, hey, if you want that kind of stuff, if you want a plug-in effects pedal, then you can do it with the controller you already have. You don't have to buy all new stuff. You just have to buy that little add-on if you want it. So that's generally why you see that kind of stuff. And again, now I wish I had. Unfortunately, I think I do have one of those controllers over there, a Band Hero Guitar Hero 5 era controller, but it's out of my reach, and I don't. It's going to be really boring to look at the Blur poster behind me and the Guitar Hero Van Halen poster, just like that. So. Hopefully that answers your question, or at least gives you some insight. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember asking back in the Guitar Hero 2 days, and that's what I was told, so I gotta believe it's something similar. Ian, thank you for your letter. If you have a question out there that you think I can answer for you that's about Activision or Activision games specifically, those are the ones I'm best at answering. Go ahead and send it to YouTube at oneofswords.com. I'll do my best to answer it on a future show. Happy to do it, and thank you for watching. Meanwhile, have a nice night. Everything that I do is at oneofswords.com if you want to check it out. Podcasts, like I'm editing now, giveaways, all kinds of stuff like that. So just check out oneofswords.com, and I'll see you here next time. Thanks.